Oh yeah, bumper balls! So much fun! Wario's a dumbass. Oh, wow. Who knew Bowser could get any uglier? Whoa, they even squeezed in some Mario Kart. Party is the perfect title for this Mario game. It's speed, it's variety, there's strategy, it's never-ending fun! What's this do? Alright, yeah, I can do this.
Start.
Gotta rotate. Faster! Oh, come on! Faster, damn it! Ah, it burns! Oh, this better be worth it! Ah, Now, fly! Fly, you lousy contraption! Honor my efforts! What the? It's good to see you, gamers. Welcome to the weekend. This is Shep from Gaming Introspection. Please like and subscribe if you find any of this entertaining or insightful. Today is another good day for you younger gamers because we're looking at another game that was released before the year 2000, likely before you were even born. This is the first installment of Mario Party, the pioneer of a Mario-themed video game board series that would span every single generation after and is still going strong after 23 years. If you have friends, this is a great game. Except for when it's not, which we'll get to in a bit. But taken for what it was, Mario Party was a fantastic multiplayer party game from the year 1998. It has all the board game tropes, collectibles, dice rolls, direct competition, but in a way that appeals to all the kids who are already obsessed with gaming as a fun pastime. Let's look at the hits and misses of the OG Mario Party. Minigames form the heart of Mario Party. The game's structure involves 4 players rolling a dice, with the end of each turn thrusting participants into one of over 50 different multiplayer skirmishes. Depending on the spaces landed on, they can be 4-player free-for-alls where everyone competes for the most coins, 2 versus 2 contests where teams compete to steal the other team's 10 coins, or even 1 versus 3 games, which either rewards the team of 3 with small amounts of coins each, or benefits the lone player by stealing coins from the large group. After patiently waiting for each player to roll the dice, move, choose, steal coins, buy stars, get ripped off by Bowser, etc., players are all bursting at the seams, waiting to get more coins by winning the minigame at the end of each round. And there is an amazing diversity here. You've got games that are plays off of sports like bowling using players as pins, and basketball using a bob-omb as the ball, free-for-all runarounds where every player tries to get coins like Box Mountain Mayhem, and Simon Says style Twitch memory games where you have to press the right button at the right time. Oh, and we can't forget pulling Bowser's face parts to recreate his expression, ripped right from Super Mario 64's intro. For me, the best aspect of Mario Party's game design is the sheer variety of controls and themes, because gamers of all kinds have many different talents that are so wildly different from one another. Some may be great at tapping buttons really fast, like in Skateboard Scamper. Others may be good at timing and rhythm, which Balloon Burst requires. Still other people may just get fired up with combat and hitting things, and there are some of those to be found in games like Coin Block Bash. The multitude of skills does a great job at leveling the playing field as much as it can, which is especially important if you've got new friends or family members over and you just want to have a free-for-all where everyone has a fair shot at winning. What's even more impressive is that the same minigame has multiple versions of it. The rhythm-based Mario Bandstand has 3 different songs with 4 different jobs, so you won't do the exact same instrumental timing with each attempt. Bowl Over has 3 different bowling chutes that range from a very gentle curve that bends either left or right to an S shape that makes it much more difficult for the bowler to control. Slot Car Derby uses 2 courses, one with gentle curves and a lot of straightaways, and the other with sharp S-turns that make it much easier to spin out. Several different enemy shapes can be carved out in Crazy Cutter, and there are 4 different faces to form in Bowser's Facelift. This variety is especially a relief when doing a full play game of 50 turns, since you'll inevitably encounter some of the same games twice. The mini-games are so good that there's even more focus put on them than the board games. There's the one-player minigame island, where you can go around world to world, progressing by completing the games. Victories give you a 1-up, while losing makes you lose a life. And the best of the best is the minigame stadium in the game room, where you can skip the board game rules completely and just compete in multiplayer thrills. If I had to single one out, at the risk of being very cliche, I'd have to nominate Bumper Balls, a longtime fan favorite, and for good reason. Your inertia really matters, as going too fast will make you hilariously topple over the edge, despite your efforts to get the ball going the other way. The physics are incredibly realistic for such a crude game on such a crude system. Am I right in guessing I've got a lot of you on my side when I say that Bumper Balls is one of the best? I mean, it's also been remixed with many other Mario Party games since. So that's a good sign right there. I gotta ask, and I'm talking the original Mario Party, what are your top 3 minigames? Obviously, Bumper Balls is number 1, but what other ones would you not mind busting out even today with your friends? Let me know in the comments. All right, I'll admit it. Let's just get this out of the way. The character models in Mario Party are poor. You know what? No, that's not even a good enough adjective to describe it. It's... I don't know. It's like someone tried to draw Mario, but then crudely angled off all of his joints, kind of smooshed them together, and then programmed this into a game and made it 3D. It's hideous. Mario 64, the first game ever on the system, has Mario looking so much better than this. My God, I can't get over that now. Look at the discrepancy. Wario's permanently demented visage looks like it's designed to scare children away from the game rather than encourage them to play it. And Donkey Kong has lipstick on him? He does, but look at him. Is he a cross-dresser? Nothing against cross-dressers, I just didn't know about this aspect of Donkey Kong's personality before. I think he is. His lips don't look like that all the time. Why did they adorn him with lipstick for half of the game? Oh well, if we go to the happery, sugary peach stage, maybe DK's buff manliness will show up in a more prominent... Whoa. Whoa. Holy crap! You know, sometimes I should probably just keep my big mouth shut. How would you like to be walking down a dark alley and see this? That blank, soulless stare. He looks like he could pound you into dust, rip off an arm or two, and not give a damn about it. Anyway, let's be real. How many polygons do you think each of these characters are made up of? They're so chunky and jagged that you could literally count almost all of them. I mean, there can't be more than 30 or so. Let's do it. Let's count Luigi's. Okay, let's see. We got 2 for the hat, 2 ears, a blob for the face, and a mustache. That's 6. Torso, we've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 2 hands makes 14. Bottom part, we've got 2 feet, 4 with both legs, and oh god. Wow, I lost count, I suppose. That's uncomfortable. Why would you design a Mario character like this? There are other ways that you can manipulate polygons so that certain things don't protrude. Wow. Nintendo really cut corners in surprising ways when it comes to family-friendly imagery. Ugh. Anyway, setting aside these few egregious errors, I still have a ton of respect for the quality and variety that the developers crammed into Mario Party in many different areas, especially the minigames. Art is my forte, and I really am just floored by the amount of stages, artwork, and 3D spaces that needed to be created. With rare exceptions, every minigame is completely different from the rest. Almost every one has its own 3D space, models, backgrounds. Barely anything ever repeats. In fact, only 2 pairs of them, Coin Block Blitz and Coin Block Bash, as well as Grab Bag and Bash and Cash, share the same scenery. Every single other contest has its own design and flavor, and they did a lot to try and give some presentation merit to the game. Check out the camera work in Teetering Towers and the contrast of the player in front of the full moon, both before and after this dark, dreary minigame. Paddle Battle has verticality, mist, sunlight, and motion effects to it, and you get a great visual of the embankments as the Shy Guys stroll around to poke you in the ass with their spears. Before you get bombarded with cannon fire in Bombs Away, there's a nice pan of the battleship and seagulls flapping carelessly through the sky, oblivious to your misfortune. And the water effects aren't flat, they're undulating up and down, matching the frenetic motion and pace of the action. Check out the transparency of the barrels and the impressive draw distance as the losers float away in Shy Guy says. I mean, on one hand, for sure, it's like, who cares? But it's also like, wow, that's pretty realistic. Even introductions to activities have some flair. Look at the way the trees part in the memory match opening, with beams of light casting through the trees and butterflies everywhere. Various Mario baddies throw stuff at the good guys before the curtain pull in Mario Bandstand, and dual spotlights highlight your effort as you try your luck on the slot machine. Before Hot Rope Jump starts, the cute little ember dudes light up the ground and move into formation, with the light realistically shifting as they swing, giving the game a very primitive but festive feel that can also be found in the Limbo Dance. Other lighting methods are utilized in creepy themed games, like Ghost Guests, with the rocks and ghosts casting intimidating shadows as they circle the humble fire pit. The shadow work on this guessing game is hypnotic, and it's also a key element to succeeding in picking the leader. I appreciate the smallest of details. Look at the stained glass windows in the bowling game. And in Balloon Burst, there's wisps of clouds floating by in the background. There's no reason for them to even exist, and they don't have any effect on the gameplay, but the developers thought it would help it look a bit less static. It's these tiny details that really make Mario Party feel polished. Soak in the haze effects on the setting sun and watch the tumbleweeds roll across the barren desert in tug of war. Seeing Mario in a Bowser suit is awesome. Oh, damn it. Oh, and he's goddamn strong, too. No, god damn it, I'm gonna lose. Ah!
Finish.
Is he laughing at us? Mario's friends,
just died in the worst, most violent, gut-shreddingly awful way possible. Staring into the eyes of their former friend before being devoured alive by an overgrown plant with razor-sharp teeth. And then he saunters over to the cliffside, looks down at the remains of his comrades, and laughs? That's dark, man. That's way too dark for a Mario game. Oh, this should be rated teen. Or no, mature for the grisly, malevolent entity that is Mario while possessed by Bowser's suit. Holy crap! Well, to get back on track, the pre-rendered boards looked great for the time. I know they've aged poorly now, and there's not much animation, but at the time, the detail and clarity was amazing. Each board has a distinct color scheme and tone that the artists really did a fantastic job setting. Check out the minigame island in particular. There's tons of pre-rendered visual splendors that are detailed recreations of the game you'll be participating in. They're bold, crisp, and bursting with care. Even something as simple as a save area has its own drawn background. And they didn't need to do that. It could have just taken place right here at this red shell with a save, yes/no bubble on the screen. My point is, there aren't many shortcuts taken, either with the minigame designs or the boards. For me, it's not the sheer quality per se, but just how much they managed to really make every competitive space its own experience visually. This obviously was not the first video game board game, but I'd wager it was the first to be designed around video game characters, and you can't get any more iconic characters than the Mario series. Just the sheer thought of playing a board game style video game with concepts, characters, and controls that you grew up with, while also being able to share that with your friends and family? This was huge! It was novel! It was what many of us had been waiting for! The pace of the game is great because everyone gets their own moment to roll, do an action, and maybe play a one-player game, which is still fun because you get to heckle your teammates and shout things or cheer when they fall on their ass or into the abyss. Certain minigames even require full cooperation, like Keep Away. Having a few drinks mixed with some camaraderie here really gets the endorphins flowing. You're never standing still for too long. Each player only needs about 30 seconds to go through their turn, and then you're back playing a minigame. It made this great for large family get-togethers. I did this for years back at New Year's at my house on the farm, and it was amazing fun for my family. There are board game tropes that work their way into the mechanics too, like choosing which paths you want to take, paying ghosts to steal other players' coins, or growing plants to attack players and steal their stars. You can also switch gates to block players' paths, pay tolls to discourage others from following you to the star path, and pay off shy guys to scoop up players and keep them away from the star point. Progressing entails staying on your toes and employing some light strategy, keeping you and your buddies engaged, although a lot of this is ruined by one core game mechanic that we will explore in the misses section. In true board game fashion, there are many opportunities for Lady Luck to show her true colors and completely alter the course of events. And for newer, or for lack of a better term, sucky players, this works well, as long as the mood stays light. You're never truly out of the game. It only takes one dice roll from any of the 4 participants and landing on the right or wrong space to switch player positioning. The game leans a bit too much on this aspect, as we'll discuss in detail soon. Even with this though, bonus stars are given out to the players who did the best in the minigames and collected the most coins, so skill does have at least some impact on the end result. To me, this is the best example of why the Nintendo 64 was known as the system that you played with friends. Even after the next generation of video game consoles came out, many friends and people I knew stuck with the N64 for parties or game nights because it had the multiplayer library that just sucked you in and kept you coming back for more. So, it's perfect, right? It's just a hunky-dory, shucks darn good time. That is, until... Oh God! Ah, get away! Get away!
Me.
Yep, this sucks. And this isn't just like it's a multiplayer game, so, the one-player mode's gonna have some flaws and drawbacks, that kind of suckage. No, this is the kind of suckage that's like, wow, I would literally want to play any other one-player game besides this. That kind of suckage.
I mean, look at Super Smash Bros. That's a multiplayer-centric game, but you can still play it alone and have fun in a few different modes. Mario Party, though, is just you hobbling around a board while watching rigged computer programs roll tens and land on one-player minigame spaces. Watch this! Look at how the very beginning of the easiest board starts out. Peach gets a green dice, which automatically gives you an 8, 9, or 10 roll. She then lands on the poison/super mushroom space. You either get poisoned and lose a turn, or get an extra turn. Oh yeah, imagine that, hey? And then, with the extra turn, she rolls a 9. That's 19 spaces. She's literally already halfway to the star. And you know what? The CPUs here are on easy difficulty. It seems like every time they get a chance, they're rolling 10s, getting extra coins, or finding lucky 8 to 10 dices. Now watch what I do when I roll. Yeah, oh, just fantastic. Damn game. Another thing CPUs love doing is landing on these godforsaken one-player minigame stars. And you can't skip it. You're forced to sit there, watching no one. And even if the computer fails, it's still 2 minutes of your life that you can't get back. I swear, their goal is to take as much of your free time from you as possible. Look at this situation. Wario pays money to cross a bridge where Bowser is waiting, all because he gets to play in a one-player minigame where he wins 4 coins. After this, he continues on the path where Bowser proceeds to rob him of all of his coins. How obsessed can computers be with the spotlight? They'll do anything to drag this one-player slogfest out just 1 second longer. The Boo Ghost that steals coins, it always seems like the computer goes after you, even if you don't have much to steal from. And when you try to steal coins from it, look at how feeble the returns are. When it comes to the multiplayer contests, there's just so many problems with the computer's AI. Look at this diving minigame. The characters have to go deep down to get the treasure, and then their partner has to reel them in from the boat. This CPU is so lazy and slow that their buddy drowns trying to get the big payoff chest out of the water. They're just constant buffoons, hitting their own heads on stone slabs and relentlessly pursuing larger treasure chests, even if it's guaranteed that you'll get there before they can. In this hammer drop minigame, they all stand around like they're comatose before they finally realize that money is literally falling from the sky. They can't even match tiles together. Witness the spectacle of idiocy that is Wario as he tries to remember a tile from 6 seconds ago. Who could be this incompetent? Worst of all is this. What the hell was that? Luigi, he didn't even try at this cutter minigame. What the hell was he doing?
Was this the moment? The moment that Luigi just reflected heavily on all the mistreatment that Mario had given him over the years and just couldn't find the motivation to try at life anymore? Poor Luigi. The solo game is so rigged and faulty that the developers actually threw in an easy-to-abuse mode to cheat at it.
Yeah, you can access the settings, switch the control from you to one of the CPU players, and then do incomprehensible actions like refusing to take a star when Toad offers one. I just love his reaction to, well, goodbye. He's probably thinking, what a dumbass that guy was. You can switch control when a rich CPU player gets to a ghost so they don't steal your star. You can make it so they just bomb a one-player game. You can do anything. The ultimate cheat is at the end of the game. Mario Party tries to encourage you to play with your friends, because it's a party game and all that. And any coins or stars that human players earn get deposited in the bank where you can use the funds for extra stages and items. But say you're a loner like I am most days and you have a few controllers sitting around. Just go to player settings on the last turn, switch every character to a controller port, play the last minigame, and watch them all die or stand around like a dumbass, and then you reap all the rewards! Oh, this does help ease the pain and frustration of the constant computer cheating, but this easy victory is just a miss in itself. This option makes the game impossible to lose. The developers didn't care about the one-player mode at all. They didn't want to invest in a more realistic, adaptable AI, so they just threw in this half-baked solution that completely drains all the challenge from the game. If you bought Mario Party hoping for a good one-player experience, you really wasted your money. The boards all have appealing art design, as I've mentioned. Unfortunately, some boards are just absolutely boring and incomprehensible, regardless of whether or not you're playing on your own or with friends. I know there's always supposed to be random chance assigned to games, especially board games, but there are elements here that are just broken. There's just so many factors that are completely out of everyone's control. Most of these come down to the question mark spaces. Oh lord, how I hate these green spaces. They barely exist on the board, but players always seem to land on them. But what do? Well, they screw everything up! Oh look, I'm near the ghost to steal a star. Nope, landed on the question mark, so now a boulder makes me haul ass to the other end of the map. Hey look, I'm almost at the Toad Tower. Oops, Yoshi landed on a question mark, so now it's Bowser. Now watch this. Look, here's where I am, right? On that godforsaken space. Now, let's watch my next roll. And I switch it to Bowser again! And it's not cheap! When you get to Bowser, he gives you a fake star for 40 friggin' coins! Time to go all around the board again and then have some other bastard land on another question space so that Toad switches to Bowser again when I get there. What kind of masochist developed this mechanic? Whoever it was, they should have tried to find more happiness in their lives. They should have dedicated some time and money to aromatherapy or meditation. One space out of 60 on a board should not be this game-changing. It is so catastrophic to your progress, even and especially if you're not even the one who stepped on the space. And the fact that it can happen over and over again, often in the same round, is just inexcusable. Here's the best example for how putrid these green puke-looking question spaces are. Yoshi's Island has this dual loop setup, with Bowser on one island and Toad on the other. There's these thwomps that guard two bridges that can be used to go from one to the other. But to use the bridges, you need to pay up. And now I'm just thinking, what could these swamps possibly use the money for? They can't even hold on to it and use it in a transaction. The only possible thing they could do to a coin is crush it into worthless dust. But I digress. Anyway, the developers thought it would be a good idea to have this auction system where players could pay large amounts of coins to cross over to the Toad side, so that no one could follow them and stay in the star loop by themselves, racking up stars. And that's great in theory. If players aren't good at the minigames, they don't deserve to cross over and get the stars. But everyone everywhere is landing on these goddamn question spaces. When you land on a question mark space, Toad and Bowser switch. And if this is always happening, then there's absolutely no point in paying the toll because it could switch 500 times. You can't control it. Look, I'll put it in fast motion so I can prove to you that it can happen multiple times in one round. There's always 4 chances that someone, every turn, will land on that space and wreck your entire plan. So then, you're sitting there with no money and made the bridge impossible for anyone to cross. Have fun visiting Bowser, I guess? And what? Am I fatter now?
Oh, my back. So the game insults you while it screws with you. That's just great. As if I wasn't already feeling inferior enough watching Bowser continuously replace the star space. In one round, these spaces were landed on 18 times. And that's 18 times too many. Oh, these question spaces are bad enough, but the boards themselves have enough awful design on their own. Wario Stage is just an absolute random piece of crap. Toad randomly appears everywhere, and after a star is collected, he can sometimes appear mere spaces from where he was before. So I'm Yoshi, I get the star, but then Toad appears right next to me again, and I don't have enough money to buy another one. The question mark spaces here cause the cannons to randomly change direction. And even if they didn't, whenever a cannon shoots you, you randomly choose a spot to land on. You could be richer than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but it won't matter one bit because you might constantly land past the star space. Oh, unless you're a computer, of course. Turns can take forever. If you keep landing near the next cannon entry, you might get blasted around 3 times before your dice roll is over. It's monotonous as all hell, especially if the computer is doing it. Wario, slow down, take a friggin' break, buddy. Oh, thank God he didn't roll 1 number higher. Would have been another cannon. There's a fly guy that takes you to Bowser. First of all, this is pointless. Because why would you want to go to Bowser? There's a bunch of one-player minigames which you'll likely only land on one of the spaces anyway, and even if you win, or you feel the need to go there to get a star, which rarely appears there, it's still random which spot you land on. You could miss the star completely, get your coin stolen, and then bye! See you later, loser! Why is it still random? The Shy Guy is leisurely floating with you above the island. It's not like he's losing control or has to make a split-second landing. The amount of luck that this board insists on is more than any fortune teller would ever have faith in. It's just... You have to go see Bowser anyway, who always steals your coins, then launches you off again in a random direction. He even admits it. Look!
I've no idea where you're going. Ugh.
No one knows goddamn anything about what's going on in this stage. I don't even know who the good and the bad Bob-Ombs are. This is the worst board in the game, and possibly the entire series. At least in Yoshi's Island, you knew where you stood and where you were going. This is just like putting on a blindfold and walking to God knows where without any premeditated thought or strategy. Check out Bowser's stage, Magma Mountain. You'd think this would be the worst of all. And you wouldn't be right, because I just told you what the worst board was. But anyway, there's these shortcuts you can take to try and get to the star earlier. You pay coins, and then hope for a lucky 50-50 roll. Watch how rigged this is. I'll play it full in fast time so I can prove it when I tell you that the CPU characters easily fly through these shortcuts, winning every single time at a 50-50 dice roll, avoid going to see Bowser, and get the star. Watch what happens when I do it. I instantly lose the first shortcut I attempt, then lose when I get to the Bowser roulette. That means I have to go see Bowser, I have no chance to steal a star from a ghost, and even in the rare case that a computer player has to see Bowser, he just seems to always steal their coins. But me? A star. Yeah, a star, the main thing that makes you win. I lost at every possible junction and got punished for a rigged computer algorithm just to slap me in the face some more. God damn it! While we're at Magma Mountain, let's look at one last insult by the computer programming. On the second last turn, here's me. I lose another roulette and have no chance to get this star, and to add insult, I hit this poison mushroom. But wait, it gets better. Luigi gets the star since I got cheated, and seriously, just guess where the last star appears. 4 spaces away from me. See? There's Toad, there's me. Even a mediocre roll of the dice would get me to the star. But then the last turn comes and yep! If Nintendo was allowed to throw middle fingers into their games, it would have shown up right here. And now, with that, we can finally get to the worst miss of this game.
Mario Party is such a hotly contested smorgasbord that the friendly facade can easily crack, even among the most leisurely and laid-back players, when they find out that they actually do still have a chance at winning. And you always will have a chance at winning, no matter how poorly you're doing, all because of...
Chance time! Chance time!
Chance time!
Ugh. Chance time is the ultimate screw-over. It's like the development staff wanted you to know that you really don't have any guarantees. You can be winning a 2-hour, 50-round board game, win every minigame, collect every star, literally be 12 stars in the lead, and you can lose it all within 10 seconds. If a player lands on a chance time space, they get to line up under these spinning cubes. The cubes stop when the player hits them, and the arrow and picture shows what happens. This could be minor, like coins being taken or switched between players, to actual stars being given to random players who might be losing and failing at every attempt in this game, or even switching the amount of stars 2 players have. And it's actually not the hardest thing to make sure this happens. The first 2 cubes spin slowly enough that a patient player can stop them in a way that makes sure that someone's stars go to them. And if that's you, and it's at the end of the game, you can kiss your win goodbye. You got chance, bro. You don't know what hits you, buddy. The stakes are so high that this really is a crapshoot, and the impact of the outcome can create rifts in friendships that you thought were sturdier than steel. I've seen the rage in my own eyes swell in the reflection of my best friends as he reveled in stolen stars with no remorse to be seen.
But my buddy Piper here, he's not like my other friends. He's just a sweet guy.
Chance time!
No, you can't. No! I was 16 stars ahead of you!
Yeah, but you're not now. That's in the past, so...
So? It's a 50-round game, and I spent most of it kicking your ass and getting stars!
Well, you can get them back.
I can't get them back. There's next to no turns left!
Just land on another chance time space.
There is no other chance time space. I'm all the way across the map.
It's just a game, bro. It's just a game.
You know what? You're right. How primitive of me to get so upset over a stupid video game. Jeez, I'm sorry. You know what? Why don't you just go get us a couple of beers, please?
I'll be right back with the drinks.
All right.
Stop!
Looks like it's game over.
What you trying to say, huh, punk? What you trying to say? Huh? What you trying to say?
Mini game. Oh, I love this game.
Come on, this sled's not gonna push itself.
He's right.
Ball upside, ball upside.
If you found that introductory twirling segment amusing, it's really not that far from the truth, and we will delve into the details of that and other such minigames soon. But first, I want to take a look at some of the other minigames that failed miserably. Look at how basic this is. A kindergartner could easily solve this. If I just drop the chest here, it'll come out here. Bring it on.
Start.
What the hell? Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Oh. I've seen a lot of false advertising for games, but not within the game. Look at how embarrassingly simplistic this image is. It makes you think that you'll have the easiest win in history. But then as soon as you press start, this avalanche of pipes just assaults your eyes. There are over a dozen junctions and points where the chest's direction will be altered. And it's not like you get to see the whole thing all at once, or even given time to analyze it as it scrolls. I am not editing this. It seriously takes like 1.5 seconds. Remember me whining about the cheating CPUs earlier? Here's a prime example of it. They can calculate it a lot faster than my eyeballs, so no wonder they always win. I've played Mario Party for more than 20 years, and I still would be better off blindfolded when this minigame shows up. That's no exaggeration. It's just completely insane. And even if it was easier, it's the most boring thing in the world. You simply select the pipe, press A, and then watch someone get 10 coins. It doesn't matter if you're the one controlling the chest or not. It's just sit and wait. How is this fun? It isn't, and it's labeled as a 3 versus 1 minigame. Why? The other 3 players do nothing. They have no impact at all on this. Couldn't they, press the D-pad if the chest was in their pipe to nudge it along? Or something? Other minigames are just horribly unbalanced in terms of how many coins you can win. The one-player games are supposed to give you a boost, but ones like Whack-A-Plant can give the player over 30 coins. And it's not difficult either. You just stay afloat once you jump on a plant and follow the line of gold until you're done. And this game doesn't make any sense. Aren't piranha plants lethal when you jump on them? Don't they kill Mario in the other games? Even Smash Brothers alludes to this on the piranha plant victory screen. Why aren't you hitting them with a hammer or something? Like whack-a-mole. That would make a lot more sense. Coin Flower Shower is another one that's unfair, and even more so because it's a 1 versus 3 player game in which the one player has all the benefits. They can run around on this flower for the entire game, tipping it heavily one way or the other without even falling off, and can collect another 30 coins, while the other 3 have to sadly sulk in these leafy boats, hoping in vain for the odd coin to fall off the flower. It just looks humiliating, like the other 3 are just beggars hoping for scraps from the omnipotent king of Mushroom Kingdom. And Crane Game. Against CPUs, this is such a rigged piece of crap. You'll likely be strutting around with over 100 coins because the CPUs are so goddamn stupid in most of the other games, but this game takes a third of the coins of any player that's captured. And of course, this is the one game where the CPU never loses. Even on easy mode, you can tap faster than a wrestler trapped in a lethal chokehold and still not make the crane lose its grip. You can lose 50 coins or more because of this game. Okay, let's get to some stick rotation.
These are no joke. The twirling minigames, they really were as painful as the legends would have you believe.
Several minigames, including Paddle Battle, Tug of War, and the bonus minigame Shy Guy I painfully showed you earlier, required players to rotate the control stick as fast as they could. But one of the biggest failings of the N64 controller is the cheap plastic, especially the convex-styled nub that made something as simple as keeping a thumb on top really uncomfortable. So instead of slowly rotating this around, players would set their sweaty palms on top, press down, and start swirling away, eyes locked on the screen as they feverishly spun in an attempt to defeat their friends or set a new high score. The friction and heat generated over time could be enough to break the skin, blister it, and even draw blood. Nintendo, no word of a joke, offered free gloves to Mario Party players in an attempt to save some public image, but the damage was already done.
I'm not sure if Nintendo expected their audience, which was still quite young in 1998, to be this competitive to win a simple minigame contest, but they learned the hard way that this gaming, it's serious stuff, man. You don't wuss out on a tug of war challenge when your pride is on the line. You man up and you swirl that stick.
Possibly the most anxiety-ridden example of this is found in the one-player bicycle game. It's spooky as hell. There's a ghost that will kill you if it catches you, and your only line of defense is to generate enough power by spinning your bike wheels fast enough to generate enough light to kill the ghost. So you're instantly in panic mode when the game starts, and as you watch the ghost creep closer and closer, your eyes focus more and more on the screen. All the while, this cheap plastic doohickey is burrowing through your palm as you spin it like a madman.
God, it's gonna get me. No! Ah!
Miss.
Oh well, at least I didn't die in real life. Oh. Future installments of Mario Party would abandon this technique in subsequent minigames, as early as the next entry, Mario Party 2, and it's a damn good thing that they did. Flared up palms and baffling question mark spaces aside, Mario Party was a very unique and replayable, exciting game when it was released.
Rising above well-intentioned but poorly designed home versions of 50-year-old board games like Monopoly, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy that were mostly awful, Mario Party helped craft a new genre for multiplayer games and really helped Nintendo build the reputation of the N64 being the system that you enjoyed with your friends. Well, until Chance Time happened at least. It had solid music to go with the visuals too. In fact, did you know that Mario Party's score was composed by Yasunori Mitsuda, the same man who composed Chrono Trigger's soundtrack? True story. Here's some brief samplings of the music. Not too shabby, right? Check out more on Mitsuda's work in the hits and misses of Chrono Trigger here.
I'm not sure if there is such a thing as a hardcore Mario Party gamer, but if you're out there, or even if you're someone whose nostalgia was triggered by this video, please tell me, what hits did I miss? And what misses should I have hit with this game? Let me know in the comments below, and as usual, I will see you in 2 weeks. For the 7th episode, just to give you a heads up, it will be airing on Saturday, November 12th, instead of the usual Friday.
No gaming content on my channel or any others has any right to interfere with Remembrance Day/Veterans Day. I would like to give my humble and most gracious thanks to all those who have served and everyone that continues to serve to keep our countries safe and free. Lest we forget.